This is so cozy. I feel alive again.
Certainly better than freezing. Reminds me of when I was a child. Back then, I wouldn't have been caught dead out in the wilderness like this. Countryside nobility like us had no fortune to speak of. My parents bowed and smiled for their money, and honestly, I despised them for it. Back then, I thought being a noble was about, I don't know, a life of prestige, being respected. But one spring 7 years ago, our town was attacked by this horrific creature. A human. Though I'd no idea at the time. I was evacuated alongside the servants while the rest of the town burned. I waited for my parents to join us in the shelter, but they would never come. The parents I'd so despised had stayed behind to protect the villagers who couldn't flee.
They were heroes?
Your parents were heroes. It changed everything. It taught me who my parents really were, what it really meant to be a noble. But our town's just rubble now. A footnote in history. The human that destroyed us is all we'll ever be known for. I remember my father petitioning the capital for aid, but no reply came. Even knowing how much of a threat the humans were. Now, I think, what if the army? Well, Luis. What if he's the one who abandoned us? If we were just a pawn in his game, then I will make him pay.
Hey, Grius. We all trust each other now, don't we? I think we can tell him.
Aye. Maybe you're right. I'll admit the lad's sword put me in mind of the past.
Something special about that sword?
Well, we used it to identify the messenger from our faction. But it originally belonged to His Highness. A kingly gift from his father. To better suit His Highness and his keen aptitude for magic, that blade was specially forged, with raw magla folded into the metal. Of course, when swordplay bored him, he'd amuse himself by levitating it or standing atop it to glide about. A royal rascal, that one. Those days were all too short. Then, 12 years ago, it all came crashing down.
I've heard. The prince was attacked, right?
There was a plot on his life. One I wish I'd rooted out sooner. Just like tonight, it was pouring rain. Your Highness, this way!
Oh?
Who let these blackguards into the palace?
My lord, are you hurt?
Back!
A royal knight. A wench and nothing more.
You knave! You know nothing of true knighthood. I pledged my life to the prince, and I'll not lose it to you! Highness!
Don't falter! Give chase!
Stop! They dare harm him!
We don't know who did it.
I failed him. Again.
Highness! His Highness survived the attack, but the curse hanging over him was powerful and complex. Of all the mage healers in the capital, not one could wake him. And he grew weaker with each passing day. We might lift the curse if we knew the specifics of its formula, but Luis would never give that up. Which leaves but one way. To dispel the curse, its caster must die.
And you're sure Luis is the man you seek?
I saw him in the fray. He was younger then. Younger even than you are now, and shorter besides. I could never mistake him. And now, after spilling the royal blood of father and son both, the people call him not traitor, but savior for His Highness, for the king, and for the very future of this country. He must be dealt with. To kill Luis is to see justice served.
I see. So as he did with the prince, he would make of my city a stepping stone to further heights. A tool to spread the infamy of the humans. You haven't told that story to many, have you? Thank you for trusting me with it.
A rogue never forgets a debt. Even if it takes 3 generations, we'd see it repaid. But neither do we forget a grudge. And Luis will know that soon enough.
So, that's what all this is about. Say, friend, this mission means a lot to you too, doesn't it?
Yes,
It does.
of course it does.
You've been carrying a greater weight than I realized. In any case, I owe you my life. And we've both got something we'd fight to protect. Let's save this country. Together. Ideally, once we're out of this cold, of course. I think it's about time we eat. We're almost to the capital, after all. I'd say that's worth celebrating.
I would agree.
I'm beat.
I'm exhausted. Okay, let's talk to everyone. I thought to join the army, work my way up the ranks the traditional way. Never thought it would turn out like this. I didn't expect to run into humans and dragons, nor to be bestowed with an extraordinary power. Was this the path I saw headed for? Which is all thanks to you. Well, I'm not complaining either way. Once we pull off the assassination and the prince returns to power, I think our country will be on a better path. I'll get my revenge on Luis, no matter what it takes. Though, I must admit, all this camping is taking its toll on me. A delicious meal would be nice once we're in the Grand Trial. Sometime after the assault, together with a small entourage, we decided to take His Highness out in secret to an appropriate hiding place. He was attacked in the royal palace, the place where he was supposed to be safest. We knew not when he'd be attacked again if we stayed in the Grand Trial. Naturally, His Highness was considered missing, and eventually his death was deemed official. From that time on, our organization was formed to restore His Highness to power. I'm sure there are those who resent us for vanishing from the palace without a word. After all, even the royal guards who protected His Highness were kept in the dark. If they had known, they would have had no choice but to stop us. Even if they had accompanied us or let us go, they would have been guilty of treason. A terrible fate for young knights who had so much ahead of them.
You're kidding.
I can't believe not just you, but Stroll and Grace have awakened to our power. I heard that mysterious voice again when it happened. I wonder what it is. Phew, I'm exhausted. That magnum was unusually dense and now it's all right dark. I hope we can see a beautiful clear sky tomorrow. We still have a long way to Grand Trial. You should get some sleep for tomorrow. Should I call it a night? Let's rest. Hello again.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure I
pretty
finished. Oh.
sure I fell asleep.
Well, then it's just as I thought. While you're asleep, our connection is much stronger.
I see.
You wield your magic with ever more confidence. Splendid. As I mentioned previously, the archetype grows and develops anew through encounters with others. Look for those bearing the nobility and presence of the heroes and kings of old. More virtuous than the weight of any crown or medal is the burden you place on your own path forward. The more comrades and supporters who stand beside you, the more your power will deepen as you soar to new heights. One day, If the people join hands and seize the freedom to decide their own future with their own power, just as you do, that is my ideal world.
Hold on. What do you mean, supporters? We're trying to keep out of the public eye here.
I mentioned before, did I not? There is no hero without allies, only a single voice in opposition. In other words, even archetypes have their own strengths and weaknesses. They'll be of little use if used thoughtlessly. Life and death are seconds apart on the battlefield. Be attentive, mindful, and strategic. Only then can you emerge victorious. When you feel unsure how to proceed, I recommend you stop, assess your surroundings, and think. The smallest observation is often our greatest inspiration.
Hey.
Well, it's almost dawn. I will be watching with great anticipation. Until we meet again.
Until we meet again.
The royal funeral draws ever closer. 4 days remain.
Good.
Alrighty then, let's hit the road. The King's funeral's coming up, it's not. We should hurry back to Grandtrot.
This place here.
We need to catch Corin soon if we want to make it to the royal
Let's
capital.
go.
We can wait till no longer ready.
Great.
Go to Grandtrot.
Let's move
right.
up.
Let's get moving then.
Escaping the dragon's threat in the Nord mines, the party shakes their pursuers amidst the discovery of great powers. To make up for lost time, they risk hiring a coach to secret them the rest of the way to the capital. The royal funeral draws ever closer. 2 days remain.
Dom.